Hi, my name is Nkandu Chikonde. I work for CAFOD in Zambia, and I'm just going to spend a bit of time to, first of all, just say thank you very much to the volunteers that have been working with CAFOD within parishes and within different contexts, just making sure that there's a contribution towards the well-being of people that are part of our projects and the communities that we work with. So what I will do in this time is that I'll just spend a bit of time to just show you how far the kind of help that you extend to CAFOD, how far it goes in helping individuals and in helping communities and contributing to some of the strategic areas that we have in our countries when it comes to political, economic, and the social, even education areas. I started working for CAFOD last year in July, and I think it's been a very interesting journey to find a community of staff that have been very helpful in various areas, but as well as other people that have been involved, such as volunteers and interns that have been contributing to making sure that most of the work that we're doing becomes very efficient and pinpointed to the communities that we're working with. And now, being grateful for that is really important because I feel like once you're grateful about opportunities, it opens up lots of opportunities for other people. And I found that most of the work that we do is actually hinging on the good and the good attitudes and the hearts that people just pour out with different passions for helping others and also just reaching out to communities. And that is one of the key things that brought me to CAFOD. And I just want to share a little bit about some of the Lent projects that we have in Zambia, but I'll pick one in particular, which is in the northern part of Zambia. But before I stress that, I'll just point out the specific areas where we work from within Zambia. So we work in pretty much 4 areas. One area is called the Copper Belt, which is renowned for producing copper, and Zambia is actually one of the biggest producers of copper. So we have a project there that focuses on HIV. We have another project in Southern Province that focuses on HIV as well. And we have another project within Lusaka that focuses more around stigma of HIV and making sure that there is livelihood for those that are living with HIV and have actually been healthy enough to be able to become more productive. So that project makes sure that they actually have an improved income, that they also are food secure, even as they taking drugs and trying to live positively. The final project that I will stress more in this interview is that which is based in the northern part of Zambia. And the northern part of Zambia is actually renowned to be an area where lots of agriculture takes place. There's lots of rivers, there's lots of lakes as well, and it's much closer to Tanzania and Congo. So there's quite a lot of migration happening. So there's a lot of communities that mushroom up there. So I'm pointing those things out because they stress a little bit about why we have those projects in those areas or what kind of projects we have. And another thing that I would like to stress is the fact that we actually have a lot of rural areas within the northern part of our country, and that is one of the reasons that led to CAFOD to work in the northern part. And within that northern part, there's a specific area which is called Mbala. And actually, a few months ago, we had a team from our office in London, which came over to just take a video of what exactly the projects have been doing. So the project focuses on working with households that are in distress. And just from the term in itself, it focuses on reaching the most vulnerable in society, those that have been neglected by communities, and those that have not been reached by most of the services that we have within the health sector, within the social sector, within the economic sector. And what the project has focused on is to ensure that young people, especially orphans, have access to health services, and by providing a platform through the church, and we have a lot of parishes that are working with have there. So the project in itself is led by the Sisters of Sacred Hearts, and they have been working in Zambia for a lot of decades, but they set up in Mbala because of the reasons that I stressed. It's a rural area, it's quite remote. You actually find it very difficult to navigate when you travel there. Not so much of tarred roads, so you have to travel within mountains and cross rivers at certain times. But those challenges in themselves create opportunities. So you find that livelihood activities have been set up, such as small-scale fishing for those that do not have any kind of income, agricultural opportunities, and also making sure that young people do go to school. So if you notice in my explanation, I've pointed out quite key areas. One is around health. So there is a deliberate move by the project to make sure that those that need health services are given the adequate health facilities or the adequate services or the channel for them to access services. And this focuses mostly on those that are disabled and those that are orphaned. So you find that most of them, the people that we have within our communities that are disabled, due to the fact that they do not have access to good economic facilities, they hardly have even simple things such as a wheelchair or even something to use while they're walking, because they are not able to walk on their own. They need to get some walking aids and things like that. So the project makes sure that such people are provided for. And of course, it's very difficult to provide for everyone. So as much as possible, there's a certain criteria that is used to assess who the most vulnerable within society is. So that's just an example under health. And something else tied to that is that quite a lot of work is being done around HIV. So a lot of sensitization on how to prevent yourselves from acquiring HIV or from being infected with HIV, and also how to live positively if you're already HIV infected. So there's quite a lot of sensitizations, information that is distributed through brochures and through the setting up of drama groups, as well as setting up of community support groups that is able to reach out to those that do not know a lot about HIV, as well as reaching out to those that already know but might need more information about HIV. Attached to that is another group of teenagers. In most of these communities that are rural, since the livelihood is not that much, you find that young people or young girls actually are married off at a very young age, and we have been trying as much as possible to reach to these parents or to reach to these communities and talk about the dangers or the ills of early marriages. So that ties in quite well with the social elements, the cultural beliefs, and some of the economic difficulties that communities have that leads them to try and look for a livelihood. Now, I'm finishing off that conversation with an element of livelihood because that's another key component of our work or of our project in Mbala. And the livelihood work that we do focuses on utilizing environmental, the things that are available within the environment to maximize and be able to make profit for vulnerable households. And one key thing that has been done, like I mentioned, since there is a lot of water available, you find that there's fish available. Now, what we have done with fish is that, of course, we want to have livelihood activities that are resilient. So we don't want to be a harm to nature or be a harm to our environment. So we're quite concerned about, the use of the environment as well. So on a small scale, clubs have been created. They have been trained in how to fish and also to manage the seasons for fishing, because if you're going to fish and be able to allow the fish to breed, you need to do it in a certain way. So all those factors are put in place. Another activity that has been introduced to fill in the livelihood element is that of keeping bees. So in most of our communities, actually one of the videos that was taken a few months ago was of community members that keep bees, and out of that comes honey, and the honey is an essential commodity and it's very good for people's health. So it's both a way of increasing people's livelihood, but as well as ensuring that there's healthy standards when it comes to how people treat food and how they also take care of their bodies. And that will lead me to the third issue, which is now around ensuring that there's food security, and not only food security, but breaking down the food security in ensuring that there's adequate availability of food, and different sources of food, and making sure that that food that is available is utilized in a proper way. We have seen an overwhelming response from the communities that we work with on all the things that I've just mentioned. And I think it's quite important for us to stress that the help that we receive trickles down to our communities. It reaches households. I wish I had an opportunity to share with you some of the stories and some of the pictures that we have, but I believe I'll be able to share these after the interview so that you can see the kind of impact the funds that are made available has on our communities. And we have a lot of community members that are so grateful for the support that they receive. And I think one of the key impact areas has been the fact that CAFOD has focused on reaching communities to build their capacity to respond to some of the challenges that they have within their communities, unlike being an organization that hands out things. So we do a lot of training, a lot of capacity building, not only for our project staff, but also the communities that we work with. So you find young girls, you find young boys, you find elderly women, you find men as well getting involved in these trainings and also sustaining themselves. And there's a lot of cases in which we have trained people and they've gone on to develop their own business plans, to develop their own strategies on how they're going to grow foods, for example, or to grow vegetables in their own backyard. And for us, once we see those stories, it's an entry point of creating sustainability for our projects. And this just goes to stress the fact that the support that we receive, the support that these communities receive, the help that you render to these communities cannot go unnoticed. And we're very grateful for what you do. And we hope that you continue doing this work and that you share our message within the areas in which we work. So the parishes, the communities that you have in London or wherever you are that contribute to this very, very good cause, that your help does not go unnoticed and that everyone is so grateful. You know, this reminds me of the times that we visit communities. Every time that we visit communities, they're always singing a song, you know, because there's always such an excitement, even in the midst of such challenges that we see within these communities. They're always very excited to receive us and to just, you know, share a song. I wish I could sing a song for you, but this is just to say thank you very much, and we hope that you continue with the good work. God bless you. Thank you.